at the Hyperkin Supaboy SFC. SFC stands for Super Famicom. As you can tell by the colored buttons, the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo is the Super Famicom. Okay, Hyperkin is the company. The box is pretty nice. It has all the different colored sides on it, like the buttons. And it has the Hyperkin logo here. Okay, the system. It comes with the system itself, as well as a pouch to carry, a strap to wrap around your wrist, and AV cables to hook to your television, as well as a charging cable to recharge the ion lithium battery. It has a good size. It holds much like the Super Nintendo Super Famicom controller, although it's a little thick in the back. But we're all adults now, so our hands are big enough to fit around it. I opened up the content packaging so you guys could see what's in there. Here's the pouch to carry it, along with the strap and the cables so you can hook to your television and recharge your battery. So let me tell you guys a little bit about this. The Super Famicom Supaboy SFC, it can play Super Nintendo and Super Famicom games as well. Also, it can play NTSC and PAL games. For those that don't know what that means, there's a switch on the bottom. Here we go. There's a switch here so you can play games from different regions, such as Japan or overseas in England as well. I believe that's the PAL region, Europe. The screen is 4.3 inches and it's an LCD screen. You can also switch between 4.3 and 4:3 and 16:9 aspect ratio, holding the brightness button for 3 seconds, which is located down here. The D-pad, the face buttons, left and right shoulder buttons. As you'll see here, there are 2 ports where you can actually plug in Super Nintendo and Super Famicom controllers if you wanted to play 2 players. There's also a headphone jack and a volume down here. And the charger is up top here. There's a reset button as well. And this is where you plug in the audio-video wires to hook it to the television. Also, what's different between this version of the Supaboy and the original Supaboy is that this has something called pin-perfect technology. Now, from what I understand, the original Supaboy had problems with the cartridges. They wouldn't hold very tightly, so they would shake around in the system, which would cause the game to freeze or reset. Now, if you look in here, this pin-perfect technology is that it won't shake around like that. I'm gonna pop in my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and let you guys check out a little bit of the gameplay. They pop in with the label facing you. Okay, gonna just flip that on. You can check out the volume. I don't know how great it's going to pick up on here, but this is the loudest volume it goes. Trying to keep it as steady as possible for you guys while playing this. Anybody fighting game fans know tend to move the controller around a bit when you're playing. Another thing I noticed with this Super Famicom Supaboy is for fighting game fans, you know, usually you could do like a Z motion almost, or to do the Shoryuken. However, sometimes it's not as responsive as I'd like it to be with that motion. That's just a personal thing. Well, sorry guys, I had some technical difficulties there. The game kind of went out on me. I forgot to charge the battery. The battery actually lasts 10 hours, which is good for a long car ride, or, you know, if you're out on the road, or, you know, if you just at work on break or something, you know, you could play it here and there. But overall, I'd give the Supaboy SFC, I would say it's a 9 out of 10. Just the sound could be a little better, and I guess the controller might need to be broken in a little more for it to for me to do that Z motion I was referring to earlier. I haven't played it a lot, so you know, eventually I might break that in. But thanks for watching, and hopefully this will entice you to buying a Supaboy SFC. Less than $100.